Hello dan salam sejahtera, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Let's Talk program organized by Harmonico. This program is designed to allow exchange of thoughts and opinions by individuals from diverse backgrounds in a chill and safe space. And today we have coffee here, which is sponsored by Nui Kopi, a local Penang-based coffee pop-up store specialized in Southeast Asian coffee. So you can follow them on Instagram at nui.kopi, NUI.KOPI, to get the latest update on where they will be. Malaysia is among the most diverse countries in Asia and is often known as the melting pot of races, religions, and cultures. So it's only natural that marriages between two people from different ethnicities, faiths, and culture happen in our country. So it will be interesting to find out what the challenges are faced by these couples and how they overcome them. So today we have three lovely couples with us, and let me just briefly introduce them to all of us. We have Mr. Abraham Mamen and Miss Ivy Lim, and Mr. Kamal Shanmugam and Miss Cham Mei Yan, and Mr. Muhammad Solehuddin and Miss Rosa Go. And that brings us the topic that we are going to discuss today: interracial couples facing challenges and accepting differences. So, okay, so well, this will be an interesting question for all of you. How did you tell your family and friends about, your relationship at the beginning, especially at the beginning part, and what were the responses that you get, especially maybe to the families? Yeah. So maybe we can start from Huddin and Rosa.
Well, you go first.
Okay. For me, I think we had a very mature relationship. Okay. So I studied Islam for 1 year before deciding that let's commit this together. So every week we would talk about how is your coping of the religion. So I felt that when I loved what I learned, the real Islam, I would say, not from what I see in people, I spoke to my parents. I asked my mom, and it was something very wise coming from her age, because she's also divorced with my dad. So she said, whatever guy it is, white, black, whatever skin color, if the guy loves you and is able to make you happy, just go with it. So I thought that was so powerful for me. Although it's going to be a lot of challenges, but what she said was, it actually made sense. Whatever color skin, every man is ultimately the same.
Okay, all right, wonderful. Thank you. Kamal and Megan.
Yeah. So, we did actually inform our parents about our relationship, that we are going to, we are in that relationship, in the courtship, that kind of stuff. So the first thing that I told my mom about after deciding that we want to get married is, I want to get married to him. And this guy is not a Chinese, he's an Indian. So my mom has all these stereotypes, all these, Indians are like this, they are abusive, they're alcoholic, they are this and that, a lot of all these things that, she perceived. Then I said, no, it's not true, you haven't even known him. So throughout the whole conversation with her was a lot of tears, a lot of arguments as well, because she's putting a lot of untruth, I would say, towards a person that she didn't know.
This is another challenge that, for me, is the marriage is not about uniting these two souls, but also the unit of families.
All right. Yes.
I can't say that I'm married to Mayan, I'm not responsible toward the family. So it's a kind of uniting both unit of family.
Right.
So what I did, I went to first trip, get introduced to me. The father also was angry when we say that we're going to get married. It's happened very fast. We get to know each other just 3 months. We know each other as a friend. We decided we need to inform the parents, then we get married. So don't prolong our relationship, which is not good, if you ask me. Then second trip, I went down. They sent me to the airport, the mother. and she and her mother. So they also not realize that I'm going to talk about this further. So there's a coffee time that I really seriously have conversation with the mother. Now, why we deciding this marriage, then the purpose and who I am, what is my background, how this relationship happened because of this pure purpose of community building process.
Right.
And I think this purpose is going to drive us. It's not about somehow. And I think this understanding, stereotype understanding about Indian is alcoholic, gangster, is about very small percentage of people are there. We cannot generalize the whole society.
Right.
So I think there are a lot of good people. Sometimes there's certain things that media is really boosting up, and I think this is something that we need to avoid, rather investigate the truth. This is what I feel. Then this make her confident. I think she also did a background work. But somehow, after the marriage, I have a very good father and mother-in-law, which really...
email.
All right, so we will have the second question. Do you often argue or disagree with each other due to the differences in your race or culture or religion throughout your marriage? So let's hear from Abraham and Ivy.
I think there was hardly any argument based on religion. Like some, I know friends who got married to people who are into, like my wife was a Buddhist, but my mother-in-law, she was a theoist. They were very particular about those Chinese traditions. So during various Chinese like Qingbing and all this, you have to go to the temple, put the joystick for ancestral, this one. Like even there are some Christians, you say like, if I go for a Chinese funeral of a relative, somebody gives me that the joystick. It's nothing wrong. I bow down and put it's a symbolic, this one, at least you are giving respect. So these are the small things that make you accepted, make me accepted into my family. It's a simple gestures. Like there are some people, no, I can't hold this joystick. It's against the religion. But I feel that you are just holding something. It's not like holding a flower. But actually you are just giving respect to the departed. There's nothing wrong. So I think religion was never a problem. But in terms of argument, how you bring up, it's very common. Actually, it's fun to argue, because everything is smooth sailing. It gets bored also, Sometimes, it's fun to argue.
Yeah.
So I'm the one. So in terms of arguments do happen. But the thing is that when you sleep, that's it. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, don't bring up what happened yesterday. So it's that. So I don't think there were any major arguments.
Now you were reflecting about this as well, whether we have any arguments, based on race, religion, which we don't think, we actually argue based on that. We argue because, we have different personalities, we have different understanding, we are from different background. That is what, the certain argument is not really because of the race and religion.
Not so much on race, religion, more on
dating days, jealousy over ex-boyfriends, girlfriends,
That's nothing to do with religion.
Argument, yes. Religion-wise, I think we take it quite maturely.
I think for religion, we don't have much issue. We attend classes together, lectures. We like learning religions. Even before I converted, I actually studied world religions. So touch on every religion, and somehow the universe, God just aligned me to Islam. Yeah. As much as what people see, I don't look like the normal, typical Muslim, but I do know as much as them or more. Yeah. So in terms of religion, no arguments. But the lifestyle changes. Like I had to move down to mainland. And ever since I know him 10 years ago, the first time I met him, I stopped eating pork. I just felt stopped, like completely stopped. So to find halal food in mainland where we live, it's so difficult. Sometimes he's like, what do you want to eat? Then I tell him, don't ask me. I want Hokkien mee, char kway teow. Can you find? No. So in mainland there's so much pork in every dish. So we usually come down to island
yeah.
or the food courts to have my halal Chinese food because I tell him I need to please my Chinese taste buds. His is always like nasi kandar, just nasi kandar. I love spicy food, don't get me wrong. We have tom yum every alternate night.
I mean, I view more about food.
Food.
Okay. For me, right, I'm okay with eating nasi kandar for 365 days. I'm that kind of person. I'm okay with one day. For me, life is about I eat to live, not live to eat. but then after going through a certain period of life, my friend told me that sometimes in life you need to enjoy you need whatever that you have you work hard for. You need to take a break, enjoy your life by eating good food. So therefore, I understand why she wants to eat good food.
The first, it's not about good food. Like, I don't spend much on food, but we like trying different kinds of food. Yeah. The first year, every weekend, literally nasi kandar.
Yeah.
Every weekend. So when my friends tell me, "Oh, nasi kandar is so nice." Yeah, it is. But when you have every week,
I think that would be the biggest challenge because like food is the biggest challenge besides race and religion, right?
Yeah. What I can conclude from all your sharing is actually there isn't much argument or disagreement based on the differences, but something which is very common even like couples within the same faith or culture or religion will face, right?
Yep.
So it's more of like preferences, personality, different way of maybe thinking and things like that, So it's really good to know that it isn't that bad after all, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for your sharing. So it's really good to know that once you cross the first hurdle, it's actually not so bad, huh?
Yes.
So maybe you have some advice to budding interracial couples, who may be facing difficulties in their relationship, due to their differences or people around them. So maybe you have some, word of advice for them. So what would that be?
On the surface, I think a lot of people think that the differences in religion and race is huge, big. But actually it's not. There's so much more similarities than that. Ultimately, we're all human beings. Go deep down inside, we're nice people. Conversations that we have a lot of common interests and sharings. We're all humans. So please take that race and skin color religion out. Because every single religion teaches you to do good. Every single religion. It is the media and the society that manipulates it. So if we are to believe only from what we hear from the media, then I would say you're missing out a lot. I've heard about some couples having to break up because parents disagree. I think that's really, really sad. Really sad. Because if you go through that stage of getting to know each other, allowing yourself that chance to know that individual and that family, everything else is easy after that.
Well, coming from me, which is a Malay, I would say that the journey of getting to know other races is quite a challenge, to be honest. Especially breaking the taboo of eating at my friend's house, whereby that the plate they could have eaten pork before that and everything. But as I grow older, as I seek for more knowledge and everything, and then as I listen to more scholars, I get more open-minded. I get to understand my religion better. So I try to practice it as real as possible. And I realize as much as when I'm practicing the real Islam, I get to connect to people easier because I tend not to judge people based on their race and religion, because I do understand that everybody has their own journey. Everybody is who knows they will be born in Malay family, Indian family, or Chinese family. No one is asking to be born in different races or different religions. So this is I would say as a test for all of us to actually ponder as a human whether should I choose not to be friend or be connected to others because of I'm a Malay, I'm a Chinese. So we should all ponder towards this question, whether should we stick to this kind of stigma.
Yeah, we believe that all human beings are created noble. And these factors that are surrounding us is what make us different and creating these prejudices. We also, as a area, the unit of family must be a diffusion of love and diffusion of spiritual knowledge. It's not just understand what people are saying, and we are trying to. Sometimes our culture being brought up, it doesn't mean it's true.
Yes.
So everyone have a responsibility to investigate what is truth.
Yes.
It's all about.
Correct.
And I strongly feel that it only can happen. We are not sitting here and just investigation truth. Rather, we go into the life of society to understand that. Because everyone have their uniqueness, everyone have their way of living, which most probably is uniting all of us. Because there is a purpose why we've been created in this world, and all of us have a duty toward the society itself. So for interracial marriage, I think is also another example that we can give to the society, say that racial is not a barrier to unite a family or society itself. So it's a kind of way of uniting people. Like for example, one scenario that we always cherish about it, because when people ask my son, that time he was 4-5 years old, he asking that 2-3 years old, what race you are? That he said, I'm English.
What about your mother? What about your father?
Yeah. What about your mother? What about your father? And he said that my father is Tamil, my mother is Chinese. So you see, we are created noble. They don't have a differences. The child don't have differences. Where he understand about the race is the forces that from the society.
Label.
Yeah, we be labeling people by this race. I think if you really understand why we've been created to be united.
Yes.
And we come from one source. So we always believe in that. And our purpose of life is to bring this clarity to the society.
Yes.
So that's the duty of every individual that we need to carry forward. So I think this platform also will bring this message to the society.
I think one thing is about consultation and also conversation that needs to always take place. Yeah, we have to always have conversation. The communication is very important. Yeah, for us to understand each other, for us to convey certain message. If there is no communication, there is no consultation, there is no conversation, it'll be very challenging. Yeah, even though it's the same, from the same race, from the same background, it'll be very difficult because we don't talk to each other, we don't communicate. Yeah. So even you say different race, and if let's say like same race, need to communicate. What more, just about these different races. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with me. Yes, conversation, consultation. We have to learn each other. We have to different opinion. Ultimately, we have to come to a compromise. What is the middle point that work together to the betterment? There is no right or wrong. It's a tolerance and mutual respect for each other. Be it children, upbringing, money matters, food, all this. We have to work up solutions. Bring it to a talking point. That's the main point. Yes.
Okay, I think basically in Malaysia, the main divide in society is religion. Religion is supposed to do good. To me, on paper, I repeat, on paper I am a Christian. But as far as I am concerned, there is one creator.
Yep.
You are a Muslim, Baha'i, anything. So as long as you believe there's a creator and you do good, not to say 100% good, lebih kurang lah, like they say. Because I always feel all religions say God is compassionate, loving. So like always tell my children, as long as 80% good, 20% jahat, we go up there, we can contain them.
Correct.
Of course, if I tell to the priest, he say no, you're bad. I feel like when based on our experience living together in it, to avoid all these things, when you talk to a person, do anything, don't put religion the foremost, because that will
Create a barrier.
Yes.
See the common ground.
Correct.
Okay, we are all together. Like if three of us, you say, what's the common thing? All three of us like to eat nasi kandar. Let's go for nasi kandar. So that is it.
Correct.
Okay, so the next question that we would like to talk about is, what do you love
or enjoy about most being in an intercultural or cross-cultural relationship?
Well, I suppose it's we are more open-minded. We are not restricted by any religious or racial beliefs. Like all religions, they have their so-called boundaries which you have to conform to. But being married to a person of different race, I think the boundary doesn't exist, and you have an excuse not to follow so-called traditions. Oh, why are you not following? No, my wife is Chinese, so for them it's this one. And she can use the same thing, my husband is Indian. So we can avoid certain things like a certain cultural beliefs or certain things that creates diversity. Like for example, a lot of people said, oh, that place, is not vegetarian, so you cannot eat there. But if you are somebody, no, my wife is not vegetarian, so that's why. So it slowly sort of opens up, and people don't judge you by, like certain people, I say, oh, you are Christian, you go to this ceremony with this one. No, my wife is Chinese. So we have an excuse to explore other religions, and together with, we can explore other things, and worst case scenario, you have a bypass to, something like that.
In a way, it's true, which my husband used a lot of this escape route. For example, during Chinese New Year, ang pao, giving, oh, I'm not Chinese. Not my department. But collect ang pao, yes. All the check stuff. What? All this food, I like. Or this one, not. Oh, this one you can. Like my husband said, take the good of each culture and one on the bad one. It's like we work together. We have to compromise. We have to tolerate each other. So the same thing, good, bad. It's very common. You can't say everything is wrong or bad. We have to go with the flow and be more open-minded.
I think, in this, interracial relationship, it's more of getting to have, nice sari to wear, nice Indian food to eat. Yeah, especially like during weddings,
Coming from me, it's very interesting actually to have a partner from a different race because first of all you learn a lot about different cultures and then different values in life and then religion, of course, as the topic that we have been talking a lot all this while. Other than that, if let's say you ask me what I like the most about being married to other race, I get to attend Chinese New Year reunion dinner. That's like my favorite time of the year. So the family always prepare one halal table for me. Sometimes I get to bring my friends from overseas. I get to bring my family members, so they get to experience different culture. So it's an exchange of information at the event. So imagine so many good input that we are giving to between each other, between the Malay, between the Chinese or Indian. So somehow it reduces the tension stress in Malaysia. So basically interracial couples, right? It helps a lot. It helps the government a lot in Malaysia in portraying that there are good people from all the races. You get what I mean?
Right.
So like for example, like for me, as a Malay, I try to do my best to be a best representative as a Malay, as a Muslim, so that people don't stereotype about my race and my religion anymore. You get what I mean?
Correct.
So I feel that every individual should do the same, regardless of your race and religion. No matter what, as a human being, you strive to be the ace in terms of your character, right? And in terms of achievement in life. Yeah. Other than that, my wife, please continue for me.
Yeah, on top of what he has mentioned, I would like to top up with 2 points. First one is, so I'm a Chinese Muslim, right? When I converted 7 years ago, a lot of Muslims, they tell me, awak sekarang sudah jadi Melayu, tanya. I'm like, no, I'm a Chinese Muslim. all my friends in my class, they're Japanese Muslims, American Muslims, from other races. They're not Malays, but they are Muslims. So I like the fact that I'm able to show others that you need to understand that Islam does not belong to Malays.
Yep.
You have different looks and different races who are Muslims. It's something that I also have to explain to my mom. So because we travel a lot, we see different kinds of people. So I think it's good for a lot of people here that, oh, there's Chinese Muslim, yeah? So when I update all my particulars with the government agencies, with the banking companies, and they would ask me, what's your Malay name? I'm like, no Malay name. Chinese name. It's me. I'm a Muslim. Rosa Gowefen. But isn't there a Fatima and Aisha? I'm like, no, no. So it's something that they learn as well. I would ask them, is this your first case handling this? Yeah, actually, yes. So I like the fact that I represent the other minorities, races that we embrace Islam.
I think this is important. I think the first stigma that we have to break away, right, is actually between Malay and Islam, because these two are totally different entity, you know. But in Malaysia, it is somehow very well associated between each other, Malay and Islam. So therefore, that, you know, if let's say there's anything like not so nice happen to the Malay community, somehow Islam will be associated together.
Yeah.
Which is unfair, I would say.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'd like to add on to my second point, which is a much lighter note. During Chinese New Year or Raya, like we will hear from our friends who are married. Either one side will be complaining, this year I have to go back to my husband's side. 2-3 days I cannot spend time with my mom. But we don't have that issue. Raya, I'm all his. Chinese New Year, he's all mine.
Unless it is Fengsi Raya.
Yeah.
I think in a year's time. But then if you have a long stretch of holiday, then it's
That's
not
okay.
the problem, right?
Yeah.
Second half.
Yeah.
That's the plus point.
Yes. Wow, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so, you know, it's so enlightening to hear from every one of you, you know, and if I can conclude from this, you know, question, it is the broaden our perspective, broaden our experiences, our, you know, our way of thinking. You know, there's like, the boundaries are getting bigger, right? Instead of shrinking, yeah. So, and that's what Malaysia is all about, because we have so many, you know, cultures and ethnicities, and, you know, Semenanjung, Sabah, Sarawak, yeah. So it is about how we come together.
It's true.
Yeah, and build the nation together.
Yeah.
And I would like to really thank, you know, all of you from the bottom of my heart for being that, you know, role model, and for promoting, you know, your life, you know, is like a promotion, you know, to really promote unity and diversity, yeah, in Malaysia, yeah, through your marriages. Yeah, so, you know, like the Malay idiom that says, tak kenal maka tak cinta. Yeah, so this is the platform that we would like to promote to everyone. Yeah, that's why it's called Let's Talk. Yeah, let's dialogue. Let's share, our thoughts, from our hearts. And we hope to do more in the future, and we hope that you will join us, in the next topic that we will be discussing about. So thank you very much, Abraham, Ivy, Mayan, Kamal, Hudin, and Rosa. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for participating in this interesting and enlightening.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you to the viewers for being with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.